Well, good evening, everybody. It's Jessica Jones. I'm the Cryptid Huntress, and I am just in from another Cryptid Warfare operation out in the deep woods of North Georgia, you guys. And yes, we stayed up most of the night last night and had a great time. And I'm here in the studio tonight, and I believe my buddy, who is the biggest part of Cryptid Warfare Operators, we got Drewski coming on tonight. He just got home with the other guys, and he is getting his stuff set up, and he'll be with us in just a few minutes. So you guys buckle up. We got a lot to talk about, man. We had a really great time. For those of you who don't know, I am, and I think if you're watching my show, you probably know, I am a cryptid field researcher. I've been doing cryptid field research since 2011, and I'm on, I'm going to say 4 or 5 different teams now, field research teams. I've been very active all those years in the field, and we just, yeah, my most recent team actually that I've joined is Cryptid Warfare Operators, and those guys are super duper active. I'm really into, getting out in the field and still being boots on the ground as much as I can. I've even got some more field research coming up this week with another team. So shout out to everybody who was with me this weekend with Cryptid Warfare Operators. You guys rock. We're going to be discussing that tonight. All right. Well, I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for spending your Saturday night here with me on the channel. Oh, by the way, I do have on my Cryptid Warfare Operation shirt today. You got to see the back. Oh my God, it is so cool. Drewski is so creative and awesome. And yeah, it's official. Let's see, where am I? I got my JJ right here and the flag and then the logo on the back. I'll be showing you guys this shirt and some pictures on social media later. It's so badass. It's crazy. Okay. Well, if you guys would like to follow along with all of my shows and everything I'm doing with my archives, please go to my website. That's thecryptidhuntress.com. You can find all of my shows there. And yeah, the archives, the events that I'm going to be at, including, you guys, please be sure to put this on your calendar. I'm going to be at the East Alabama Bigfoot Town Hall coming up. That's in January. I know it's a little while away. We got a couple months, but I'm going to be there. Of course, it's going to be with MK Davis, Flat Rock, Tyler Howell, Dale Boswell, Stacy Brown Jr., okay, down in Florida with the skunk ape footage. We're going to be speaking at that event, and it is going to be a wonderful time. It's Chris and the guys with Squatch Seekers of the South are putting that on. So please be sure to come and join us at that event. I'm telling you, my life was changed after I watched that MK Davis presentation. Sorry, dropping papers. Presentation last year. I actually went as just a what do you call it? A participant, I guess. I just went to go hang out. I did a little surprise, a surprise pop up at the last year's event, and ran into a lot of people that I knew and had a great time. And this year they asked me to go speak at the event. Okay, so y'all come see me there. And also, of course, we had Brian on the show this past Thursday. Brian saying he's with the Full Disclosure Now movement. I'm going to be at that conference too coming up in July of 2025. So y'all be sure to be there at that. And also Dr. John Stamey has got me on the roster at all of his events next year. That includes the Atlanta UFO conference, the Georgia Bigfoot conference, and I don't know what else. I just told him to put me down for everything. Okay, so as soon as I get the dates for those locked in, we're going to have those all on my calendar as well. Okay, so yeah, it's such a blessing being friends. Dr. John is awesome. He's actually going to be on the show next Thursday night. I have remote viewed the Bigfoot War of 1855, and we're going to be discussing that on Thursday night with Dr. John Stamey. That's a huge topic. He's really done a lot of research on the Native American connection to Sasquatch. And so we're going to be discussing that on Thursday night. So please tune in. Y'all know we have cool shows every single show, including this one. So, all right. So we are going to get started with this show. Oh, wait. I do have a Patreon. If you guys want to support my work, go log into that, become a member, and shout out to all my members. Y'all are the best. And it is Christmas time. So if you guys want to shop at War Woman Goods, buy your loved one a gift, and I will throw in some Cryptid Huntress merch for you. Okay, how about that? I'll throw in some Cryptid Huntress merch with every single purchase, and the shop is on sale this entire week. And I think, yeah, next week it's going to be on sale too. So come on down, shop with War Woman Goods for your Christmas needs. And also, if you're looking for a good book series, you guys please go to relicsbooks.com. Purchase some of John Vendaventure's books. It's one of the best series with Bigfoot, UFOs, all the cryptids, skinwalkers, you name it. Relicsbooks.com. That's my friend John. And please send prayers out to John and his wife. He's going through some medical stuff. And so lift him up in prayer. And we hopefully will see him back here next year. Okay, but be sure to check out his books on relicsbooks.com. Purchase those for your loved ones this Christmas. All right. Okay, well, let's get to our show tonight. I've got my good friend Drewski in the studio. And we had a really fun past couple of days. We went off-roading. You're going to hear about that. I mean, it's amazing how our cars held up, is all I'm going to say. Oh man, we had a good time. Okay, so this evening we're going to be talking about Operation Gray. All right, that's what it was called in the deep woods of Georgia. Okay, we were kind of keeping all this a secret. We don't like announcing what we're doing before we do it, but we were doing Operation Gray over the weekend, past couple of days, and we were in an area that's known for UFO sightings, alien encounters, dogmen, and Bigfoots. A lot of Bigfoot activity, and even underground facilities. There's rumors of deep underground military bases. It's all in the Appalachian Mountains. Y'all know we got high strangeness down there, and of course, I've got Drewski here in the studio tonight. Drewski is a warrior of the Almighty whose devotion to Christ is unwavering. He understands that this is a spiritual battlefield. Living a life that's true to his faith is crucial. He previously served in law enforcement for 7 years. He's worked as part of SWAT. He's also served as a squad leader and helped with tracking and escape teams find convicts. And also, he's worked in protective custody, escorted VIPs. He's worked a security team. And also, he is very experienced in bushcraft and survival with over 20 years of knowledge in this field, and also many years, over a decade of experience in Bigfoot and cryptid field research. He has a team, an A-team put together. It's called Cryptid Warfare Operations. I am a proud member of the team. I even got my t-shirt, y'all. and he has a great YouTube channel as well and is on podcast. It's called Cryptid Warfare Podcast. You guys, please go check that out. Subscribe, become a member, and help me welcome to the show, Drewski. What's up, bud?
Hey guys. We're matching.
Hey. We're matching. We have on the same shirt.
Yeah.
Twinning. Oh, it's similar. Yeah. So you guys just got home?
Yeah, we literally got home about like a half an hour ago.
Oh, dude.
Got here, all the guys, Taylor was like, all right, guys, start unloading stuff. So we just started unloading stuff. So.
Oh man. Well, hey, thank you for being here. I just got home. I got home late too. I think the scariest part, I mean, the weekend was amazing, by the way. Like the trip was really great, but the traffic in Atlanta was so bad. I was like, this is the scariest part of my trip right here. Yeah, it was the traffic today. Yeah.
Yeah. That I'm so impressed in your truck. In the van.
Okay, let's tell the audience. Okay, so the audience, this is brand new. Okay, so like we literally both of us just got home. I both of us have cleaned up, and I put on war paint, got my makeup on finally, and I smell fresh now, not like the woods, not like that campfire cologne we were wearing. Okay, so we went to an area that I'm very familiar with. Okay. And for the audience, I just want to give a little rundown real quick. So we went on, we've been planning this for a while. It's called Operation Gray. Why don't we start off by telling the audience about Operation Gray? Would you like to do that, Drew?
Yeah, what do you want me to go with? Just the
Well,
nuts and bolts of it?
let's just start off with, just kind of the game plan a little bit, and what the operation was about, because we've done several operations together now, and this one was a little bit different. It was the same, but it was different because we go to different locations all over the South, basically. And this one was in Georgia. This is the first Georgia operation we've had.
Oh yeah, so
Tell the audience.
yeah, so basically, it's kind of along the same thing, but then it's not. But our mission was to gather intel and do a lot of recon and basically on UFOs, UAPs, aliens, and orbs and stuff like that. So hey, what's going on, Susan? And yeah, so that was basically it. But what comes with the territory, you also got cryptids as well too when you're dealing with the high strangeness. So yeah, so we were trying to cover, basically dot our I's and cross our T's when it comes to that. So yeah, that was basically it. And the nuts and bolts of it was just I was more prepared for aliens more than anything, or UFOs and stuff like that, and portals and missing time and stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, it's y'all know, people who watch my shows know that I've had a lot of alien contact, ETs. My team has run into some portals, and so we went with something a little bit different this time. Instead of chasing Dogman or skinwalkers, we went for the areas that have the ET activity, but it also has a high amount of Bigfoot activity as well. There's also Dogman reports there, a lot of UFO sightings out there, and so look, I like switching it up, man. I like switching this up, and bringing you guys up here or down here, y'all.
Yeah, down.
Yeah, people are asking in the chat how far north. What was it? Very far north in Georgia. Very far north. Undisclosed location. So we don't give our locations away here. But it is very far north up in Georgia, where we have a lot of Bigfoot activity and stuff. So really great camping spot. I guess we should probably talk a little bit about getting there and the off-roading that we did.
Yeah, that was an adventure for sure. Yeah, so the van we had was a Nissan. It was actually, I'm not gonna lie, guys, it was actually pretty Gucci'd out, but
It was nice.
yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was a Nissan X350 or something like that. But yeah, it was a four-row passenger van. It was pretty big, but I was really surprised on it. It literally felt like a van on steroids because we actually made it up a pretty rough terrain, in my opinion, and some of the trails were washed out. So I'm really surprised it made it. So, and your truck did awesome. I did not know. I did not know it was not four-wheel drive.
It was so bad, y'all. It was wild. Yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting the roads to be washed out as bad as they were, and I have no idea how any of us made it up there. I really don't. We actually had to get out. I'm surprised that we didn't video. Like, we were all kind of disappointed that we didn't think to video us off-roading as hard as we were doing.
Yeah, but we were in so much awe that that we made it through that one section. I was like, oh man, we didn't video it. Crap. Oh well.
Oh my God. It was like, what is that called? Moab or something? It was like, it literally was like, and we were having to get out and put big rocks and stuff into the cracks and crevices so that our tires would get the traction on it. And it was absolutely, oh, thank you, Amber. That's very sweet. Amber says, your show has quickly become my favorite. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. So we were literally having to take rocks and sticks and whatever we could find, logs or whatever, to put into these cracks and crevices to even get our trucks up these roads and stuff. It was absolutely crazy. And kudos, man. Kudos to T and
Yeah.
to the camo to Scott for getting his truck up there too.
Oh,
And
Darius Rucker. Yeah.
Darius Rucker, right? Code word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we made it up there. It was by the grace of God we made it up there with our vehicles and stuff. But see, to get to the good places that have the good cryptid, activity, you got to go where nobody else goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
deep in the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny because as we're driving, Taylor's like, "Damn, boy, we're out in the cut. Where we at?" Oh, I don't know, man, but taking us up to somewhere good, so it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was wild. It was super wild. Here, let's get some. I got a couple pictures. Here's the team right here, and that was today actually. After we'd been up most of the night, and yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
today. Yeah, that was this morning. That was the guys. Man, we had a really good time. You put a really good team together, by the way, and
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we were missing 3 of them. Holler out to Podunk and Paul and Steve-O, so missing those guys, but yeah.
Yeah, we missed. Well, I know Brian real well, and the other 2 guys would have been new for me. Actually, I'm probably the new one. Okay, but it's a great team. Everybody has a diverse kind of background. A lot of you guys work together, and so you guys are really good friends through that, which is awesome because you've already got team building skills from working together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of crack. Yeah. Yep. A lot of jacking around basically too, and cracking jokes on each other. But yeah.
Right. Right. Well, how does it even come about? Like when you're at work and you're like, "Oh, hey, do you guys want to go chase Bigfoots?" Do you think about
No, with
Bigfoot and
that,
Dogman?
well, you know how it is. Like, you know how it is. Like when you're basically talking to people and you're making friends with them and you just connect, you start to get, deeper and deeper into conversations and you talk about your beliefs and, your religion and stuff like that. And then, all of us were kind of like into guns and stuff and shooting or prior military, prior law enforcement, whatever. So we all connect on that. And, yeah, and hunting and stuff like that. And then cryptid topic always it first started off with like paranormal stuff, like, hey man, you got any ghost encounters? Oh yeah, man. And they just, we just talk about it. And then that's when I always ask that cringe question. So what do you think about Bigfoot, man? And then they just start going at it. But um 3 of the guys were actually skeptics for a while at first, and until we went on some hunts, and then they switched. So what up,
Became
Chris?
believers. That's Chris. Chris, I'm surprised you haven't made a tall joke tonight yet. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm not that tall. Look, if you look at me in this picture, I just want to do a reference right here. I'm not that tall. Okay, I'm not as tall as you remember. I was wearing heels when I was hanging out with you guys. Okay.
Oh, it's funny. You put the picture of me touching Zook's butt. I love it.
Sorry, I didn't know that you were touching
I
it.
don't care. It's all good. That's how close we are, guys. No, I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. I didn't notice that. I would have pushed out another one. I have a few. Now, Chris wants to know, was I bait? Was I bait? Now, I did not we didn't need me to be bait. Okay, because like where we went, we weren't really doing bait and like doing experiments and stuff because we already know they're out there, and so we just there was no need to be bait last night.
Yeah.
No need. Could have been. But yeah, I think I would have volunteered Zook for bait.
Yeah, Zook just takes off. He just goes.
Yeah, for sure. But so no, I was not bait, but yes, I do volunteer to be bait. That's one of my things. I really do like it. And because I want to see, if there's something out there, I want to see it. Right. And that's kind of how you are too. Like we all just want to see it. You are brave enough to whistle in the woods. Okay. How does that work out for you?
Well, that's what it is, with the whole Appalachian rules, man. You whistle, you actually attract things. So kind of what it is, just trying to see if anything's out there, see if anything will holler back or come our way.
Yeah, they say don't whistle in the woods. You whistled in the cave. This is Drewski who whistled in the cave, everybody. Okay. It's one of the last operations we did. Now this is kind of if you roll up on us in the woods. Okay, I hope you don't. I hope nobody rolls up on us in the woods because it's not going to be, we're going to stalk. I'm not going to say we're going to stalk people we run up on in the woods or anything, but This is what you would see. Okay, a lot of times if we have our lights on at all. We've got it. This is a kind of a cool picture. I thought that I would show that today. Is it okay if I show this other picture? I
Yeah,
guess it
fine,
is.
sure.
It is. Okay. This is a picture. Kind of give you an idea of kind of how we're rolling out there. Adaptive camouflage and all that kind of stuff for us out there. And yeah, I even uploaded the picture of that white thing that we found in the tree last night. But I don't know if we're
Oh,
gonna do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tree fungus, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So anyways, it was a great trip. Good people. Met at least one new person
One.
for the trip. I met one new person.
That was pretty good.
It was, well, he would have said the same thing.
Yeah, you would have.
And
Yep.
so we
Basically,
had a great time. Now, okay. Not only were we out there hunting cryptids last night, you made one of the most magnificent fires I've ever seen. And so I have to take a picture of this and show everybody. Okay, this is one of the best fires, y'all. The biggest fires too that we've had at this campsite ever. It was great. And so you are not only into cryptids, but you're also into like survival skills and
Mhm.
bushcraft and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I can tell when we go out in the field, like you know what you're doing. Okay. You know what you're doing. It's super impressive. How important is it for people to have bushcrafting skills and survival skills when they're out there doing cryptid field research?
That should be number one more than anything, because a part of you know part of cryptid hunting is number one is survivability. So to me, those are the staples of cryptid hunting. Because if you don't see anything, well, for one, you need to survive. You need to know how to get water. You need to know how to start heat. How to build a fire. Just basically, just like your basics. Water, fire, food, shelter. That's it. You got to know that stuff. Um, yeah. So to me, that is core. That's number one. That's key. So cryptids can always come later after that. So, but that's if you're going to go out in the woods, you got to know that stuff because things can happen. You could get lost. Stuff like that. So you never know.
That's right. That's right. So it's not only the bushcraft skills and the survival skills, you also are really into the whole team is really into um, protection, weapons, things like that. Uh, Tell me how important that is for a cryptid team. See, I know working in this whole cryptid community, in the cryptid field, I know people are it's kind of a polarizing topic, talking about weapons. Do you take weapons? Do you not? Will cryptids come around you if you have a weapon? A lot of people think they won't. What's your experience with that, and how important is it for people to be trained in the weapons out there?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, number one too is that it's not just cryptids you got to worry about. It's people. You're never going to know who you're going to run into out in the woods. You can run into rogue people. You can run into moonshiners. You can run into people who are just living out there. Even people who are out there just to do bad stuff. To people. So to me, people are more dangerous than cryptids, in my opinion. So your odds are you're going to run into them more than cryptids. So yeah, so handling weapons for one is number one, and second of all is medical. You have to know how to plug a gunshot hole. It's basically, I'm talking about yourself. So let's say if you do get in a gunfight, odds are you are going to get hit. Or if you're fighting with someone who's got a knife, odds are 100% you are going to get stabbed. It's all about the after effects. You have to learn how to use a tourniquet. You have to learn how to use an Israeli bands. Just first aid, medical. It makes you it basically, well, for one, you're basically going to live a lot longer if you know how to do medical, because there's a lot of people I know that carry weapons but they do not know how to basically how to put on a tourniquet. So
Mhm.
how good are you going to be if you get in a firefight, or if you get in a, I don't know, fight and match with the cryptid and that thing just takes a chunk out of you? You're basically going to bleed out. So, so the number one goal is put holes in bad guys, keep the holes out of the good guys, and to make sure if there's holes in the good guys, you know how to plug those holes or to keep them alive as long as possible until you get them to a hospital or until first responders come.
Mhm.
Yeah. So practice like you train. Yeah. 100%. And that is no joke. It's life or death out there if you deal with firearms and you deal with that stuff. So, yeah, it's not a joke.
That's why it's important for teams like ours to have some kind of an operational order before you go out that has the coordinates, the locations of where you're going to be, all the closest hospitals, all the closest, even like a helicopter pad or something. Like some of you had to like drive them to go get taken off by a helicopter. I don't. You have to know everything. Like we have a very detailed operational order when we go out there, and even if we try to, for the best of our ability, put down like what we put the game plan down, but we don't always have to go with that game plan. But it's more important that we have information like hospitals, grocery stores, like anything like the nearest gas station to where we're going to be. All that kind of stuff is really important to have in those orders in case there's an emergency out there. And also so you can kind of leave that information with someone you love in case they need to come looking for you.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna text Brian right now, let him know we made it home. But anyways, yeah. But it's funny you said that though, because all the guys are literally texting me right now. Hey Drew, I made it home. Hey Drew, I made it home. Hey Drew, I made it home. So, but yeah, that's one thing you got to do is you got to let people know where you're going, and you got to let them know a time when you're going to be back home. And if they're not home, that's when they have to take action and call in because odds are something happened to you. So, yeah, just always, just, yeah.
Yes. That was one thing that I really miss. I mean, I miss everything about Bob Grumpy, who was the head of one of my teams, and he was like family to me. But he always, every time we went out, he would always text to make sure we got home okay. He required basically that we contact the group. He sent out a group text or something to make sure we all got home okay. That was just the main. That was the thing. We always had to know. We always had to check in. Because it's too many people go missing, and it's not just in the woods. Even if you're driving home and stuff too. So just very important. I thought this was a cool comment. Let's see if I've still got this one here. I heard that. Oh yeah, Machete says, I like that name. Bushcraft training gives a reason to be out in the woods in the first place.
100%, brother.
I love
100%.
that. Yeah, Machete. I like that. Yeah, it does. And my son, like I love going out and I take my son sometimes when, some of my teammates are going to be out there, some of the guys, and they teach him bushcraft, chopping wood, building stuff, building forts, building lean-tos and debris huts and stuff like that. Super, super important life skills, y'all, in case anything were to ever happen. If we had like a natural disaster and you've got to like go, you don't have anywhere else to go, got to know how to build a shelter. If you get lost in the woods, you got to know how to do that kind of stuff. And Drew, you're pretty good at teaching that. And I look forward to one day, maybe you teaching that to the public and open up those
one day.
for people.
I'm planning on it for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's actually really fun. Okay. It's like being a kid. It's almost like tuning into your inner child. Okay, we talk about, I know the spiritual community talks about, tuning into your inner child and stuff. And it's so important that we do that. And, our girl, Chastity, actually started going tumbling. Okay, I don't know if she's in the chat tonight, unveiling addiction. She started going to like tumbling and like doing flips and somersaults and stuff. And I'm like, dang, that's tapping into your inner child. And that's so important. And I kind of feel like sometimes the Bigfoot research that we do, the cryptid research is kind of tapping into my childhood, my inner child as well. Even though it's dangerous, it's something that I've always loved since I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, I highly recommend doing that, y'all. Tap into your inner child by doing stuff like this. Okay.
Yep, exactly. Because you're excited to learn. You soak it up like a sponge.
Yeah. Build a fort out in the woods. Okay.
Yes. Also, too, like we were talking about, you were really impressed with that fire. So there was a reason why I did it that way. Is because one, it was going to be really cold that night, and two, it was going to last longer. So that was the reason why. So that was called the cabin. Basically, yeah. And then survival world is basically like the log cabin style. And then you have your fire, you have like your star fire style, and then you have your like teepee and all that stuff. So there's like there's basically like a bunch of different ways to build a fire, but they're all different ways of the whole mission fit, the whole mission state. So yeah, so like I said, it was going to be really cold, which it was really cold, and we needed the fire to burn hot and to burn long. So that was the reason why we did the log cabin way, because it lasts longer. Not only that, the wood was wet, so As the fire burns down, the rest of the logs on the bottom dry out, and by the time it gets to that, burns each level gets drier and drier and drier, and the fire lasts longer. So, yeah.
I mean, you don't know how important that stuff is until you're out in the woods and you're trying to build a fire, and you can't figure out why your fire's not burning. And also, okay, so we're giving some tips to the audience tonight, okay, because we just came straight from the woods. Drewski and I just got home from the woods, and it's just so important. You don't know how important this kind of stuff is to learn the different styles. And something that my team always does for people who are going to be out in the woods, go by the grocery store or by Walmart and get some of those Duraflame logs too. Okay, because those help. It actually just kind of accentuates, it kind of helps get the fire going and stuff. So I took a box of those too.
That was great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, those are good. It helps get everything going, especially when it's cold, because it was super cold last night. It got cold, and those hot hands help too. But okay, so let's get into what happened last night a little bit. I know the audience is curious as to what happened. If we had cryptid activity. We didn't get accosted by Dogmen last night, did we?
No, you know what, dude? When it was funny because I went out to go get some more firewood, and then I heard on the radio, and then you guys yelling out, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! We got something! We got something!" But it was funny because before that we heard a bunch of coyotes, man. To me, it was like 10 or more coyotes in the distance, going nuts.
Yeah. We did. We actually heard a chorus of coyotes. It was more than I'd ever heard out there. And some of the guys, kind of did sound like they were kind of surrounding us a little bit, but it was more in the distance. And then, we had, what was that? Thermal. Okay. And it did look as though there was something that was coming in, potentially. So we did, pay attention to that, let's just say. And keep an eye on it, just in case. We did feel like something might be surrounding us around our camp last night. So that was kind of, it was a little creepy, a little bit, but it's just taking a stance to protect ourselves is what that was last night. So you did a great job of jumping into action last night.
How to get the high ground?
Yeah, you did. You got really high, like on top of the van high. Yeah. And also, we did hear some strange screams and some things like that in the woods as well. One of them it sounded we had a lot of owl activity last night and yesterday. There were owls that were actually hooting while the sun was still out. It was kind of odd to me because I don't usually hear owls until it gets dark. Okay, for the most part, the owls were really hooting and making a lot of noise before the sun even went down.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good screech. I'm not gonna lie. Even though we knew, that's an owl, but that was pretty good, though. It was a pretty good screech. Oh, also, Adolf, saying whatever it is, Adolf H. If you also get cotton balls and mix it up with the petroleum jelly, it makes that last longer than alcohol.
Yes. Yeah, it's really good to take cotton balls and put them in like Vaseline or whatever, the petroleum jelly, and put them like in a little old medicine bottle or some kind of like Altoids case or something. That's what I do. I have them I think it's like an Altoids case. I've got a couple of different setups, little contraptions. And, those little Altoid cases are actually good to put matchsticks in too. So just a little pro tip right there. That's what I do. Not that I'm a pro, okay, but I'm just saying. Just little things like that are good to know. And that way you can put it in your backpack, your rucksack, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot and it doesn't take up a lot of space. But just to have little, always keep your little containers when it comes to if you like Altoids. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, good tips. See, Adolf actually knows. Okay, so we were doing Operation Gray, and Adolf had a really wild encounter in I think it's the Sierra Mountains out in California. Nice. Him and two of his friends were camping. This was like 20 years ago or more. The 1990s. That would have been like 30 years now.
Good decade right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And we did a show. I did a show with them on it here on the channel. And they had alien abductions. They all three had memories of alien abductions there. Yeah. So that's, sometimes things like that can happen and we wouldn't even know it. Okay. So you wouldn't even know it. There'd be something like missing time. you just things just don't seem right. Like you just don't know because there's something that they can do. It's like time edits and they're it's kind of wide open. I mean, were you actually kind of concerned about that last night or yesterday before we got into the woods?
Yeah, I was. Not only that, like prepping for it and stuff too. Like, of course, the name Operation Gray, and then you told me you guys had a lot of UFO encounters out there. So that was one thing I was really kind of like trying to prep for and everything. So yeah, that's one thing I was a little. That's one thing, man. It's like, God, if I got missing time, they got me.
Yeah. Well, we all, we personally all carry weapons, okay, and to protect ourselves. And something that I've learned over the years that I've been out in the field is like, well, you might have a chance against like Bigfoot and Dogman. When it comes to ETs, that's a whole other ballgame. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you and I didn't really discuss this a whole lot before we went out there, but it is a whole different ballgame because it's so unpredictable. You just don't know what you're going to get when you're out there with like UFOs and ETs out in the woods. And I know Adolf, of all people, Adolf would know that the best because it's kind of like, in my experience, it's kind of like they can kind of put you to sleep. I was telling you guys about an encounter that we had where I believe I was put to sleep out in the field. And I remember feeling really sleepy, but I didn't remember a whole lot of it. But it was through remote viewing the incident. Some of the guys on the team remote viewing that we found out that I was put to sleep. And some strange things happened. I was not abducted. Okay, but I was, let's just say, kind of like examined, but like not like in an intrusive kind of way.
Just checking you out.
Yeah, they were checking me out. So you guys you're very strong minded, just like myself, and we can pretty much handle anything. But I was just curious about like how you felt about that. And
Yeah, the only thing to me, I would just, with the guys, we actually just prayed and stuff like that. But if it happens, it's that the cards may fall where they may. So, God let it happen. It is what it is.
yes, yeah.
Really
Adolf's
fight it.
his right. Adolf's documentary is called 10-11-02. So y'all check that out if you get a chance. It's on YouTube. 10-11-02 is a great documentary. Go check that out for sure. And yeah, that very well could have been us last night. Okay, it could have been, but thank goodness it wasn't. And we did have someone. Pretty much, we had all night. We had somebody that was standing up and kind of keeping guard over the camp to make sure everybody was safe. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I fell asleep. I fell asleep around like 2 or 3. I think it was like 3 or so. But yeah, somebody was up. Somebody was up watching camp. But that doesn't mean that they couldn't have been put to sleep too and had some missing time. We don't know. But otherwise, we did not really have any Bigfoot activity that we know of, or like Dogman activity or anything. So yeah.
Adolf, I looked at your YouTube documentary and I'm saving it right now, and I'm gonna watch it after we're done.
Definitely watch it. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend. Just because they were actually out there camping, just went up to go meet, and Adolf had a really bad feeling about going. He didn't really want to go. He was like, I had a really bad feeling about it. That was the date of his camping trip too. It was what is that? October 11th, 2002.
Yeah.
November, December. Yeah, October. So yeah. And, okay. So do you ever get a gut feeling? I know you do. If you were to get a gut feeling, and we were out there as a team, what would you do? Would you be like, let's don't keep moving forward, or what? Like if you got a really bad feeling, tell me your protocol.
Okay, well, it just kind of depends on what it is. Like, okay, let's say if I'm having a gut feeling, depends on if we're walking into an ambush, or if we're walking up and I'm like, guys, something doesn't feel right. I would actually have us just back out of there, 100%, just back out of there.
Yeah, you trust your gut. Then that's what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
you trust your gut.
Yeah. My gut's gotten me out of a lot of hairy situations. So
yeah, and I think that's why.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I think it's super important that the team is so cohesive, and you guys are such good friends too, and you know each other pretty well because you guys I've noticed that you guys can read each other really well too. And so that's important for a team, especially when you're out there doing something like cryptid hunting, and something could potentially jump out at you, like Braxton did last night.
Dude, yeah, he's freaking lucky. That was dumb, but it was
not very smart.
It was payback. So Yeah,
Okay.
for Scott. But anyways, yeah.
Do you want to tell the audience what we're talking about? I feel bad because we're kind of inside jokes. One of the teammates last night kind of did a funny thing where he kind of jumped out. And we were scared all of us.
Well, it was funny because as we're driving from where you're at to home, like I would ask Braxton, I was like, look, dude, I gotta ask you, what the hell did you do to Scott? Like, did you jump at him? Because I'm really gonna chew your, part of my language, your ass right now if you did. And he's like, no, man, I literally just like, I was like, did you do it when like me and like did like me and Jessica pass you? Because I did not see you, dude. No, man, no. He's like, I literally did that when you guys were ahead of me. Like, I was in between you and Jessica and then Juice and the rest of the guys. And I decided I'm just going to stand by this tree and just stand there. And then, of course, Juice was looking down, trying to see any footprints. And he said he looked to his left, and then his light on his headlamp turned when he turned right. And Braxton was just like that. And that's what he went, oh, hey.
It startled all of us, y'all. Okay, so we did get a startle last night, but it wasn't a cryptid. It was one of our teammates out there. Okay, and so that was kind of crazy. Andrew was wondering if there were any predators in the woods out there. Now, yes, there are predators out there. We did not encounter any last night, to my knowledge. We did not, but we do. What is the protocol on predators out there?
Depends, like, you know, if they're threatening. Usually with a predator, if it's a bear, cougar, I'm actually basically used to the ones in Colorado, but the bear, cougar, anything like that, you know, there's different protocols of different animals, but you can always back away. It depends on how aggressive they are. If they got their kids around, whatever. Yeah, like I said, it just depends on the situation, like the totality of the circumstances, but you know, just back away, let them do their thing, let them pass through. You know, that's basically it, you know. But if they get spicy, hot, and heavy, that's when we're going to lay the hate. That's all there is to it. So I'm going home. They're not.
Yes. Okay. And Sovereign Colorado Man, what's up? Wants to know, did y'all hunt for scat? Did we look for scat? Yeah, we're always looking for scat. Okay, yes. We're always looking for scat. Now, I don't think we found anything super interesting for as far as scat goes. We did find one thing that we were we were interested in. It was some kind of weird fungus in this tree.
Yeah, you're right though. It did look like that Oriental. What is it?
It's like bean sprouts. It's like bean sprouts. Yeah. Okay, show it to the audience. I think I have a picture of it.
Yeah, you took a picture of it.
Of course, I took a picture of it. We sat there looking at it for 30 minutes trying to figure out what it was.
And you freaking touched it without gloves. Right off the rip, you're like, what is this? Bloop.
Yes. Okay. If anybody in the audience knows what this is, please tell us what this is. It looks like a fungus. Okay.
Looks like a tree's nuts. That's what it looks like.
I just want to know what this is. Okay. I have not sent this out to our wildlife biologist. I don't know what this thing is. It was in a tree. It was like, here's a little piece of it. We took a sample, we put it in a bag, we took some samples and we brought it with it. Actually, no, I ended up not, I didn't, because I was afraid it might be poisonous. So I didn't. I threw it in the fire before we left today. But this thing was really odd. So if you guys are familiar with whatever this is, it was in the tree. Lions, oh, that's a lion's mane mushroom. Oh God, it's a mushroom. That's lion's mane. It looks like lion's mane. It looked really odd, and it was in like a hole in the bottom of a tree, and it was huge. It was actually really big. So I had never seen this before. It honestly did look like bean sprouts that you would put in some kind of soup or something. So it very well could be lion's mane mushroom there. Porcupine booty. That's what Damien says. Yeah, we had our own ideas of like what this might be, because super medicinal. Okay. I don't know. I had not had a chance to look it up, y'all. Okay, so everybody's saying lion's mane. We got more lion's mane. Looks like lion's mane. Well, I guess we should have just cooked it up and eaten it then, I guess. Dang it.
Oh no, it looks like spiders on top. I'm good.
It did. Okay. Well, we found this in the woods. Okay. And it was just something I had never, I need to study my mushrooms, I guess, a little bit more. Because I did say that I thought it was a fungus or some kind of a mushroom, but I didn't know at all. All right. Well, now we know it's a fungus. It's a mushroom. It's lion's mane. Thank you guys. I have the best audience on the internet, by the way. I do. And yes, Mother Nature is amazing. And and that's something that I think that like a Bigfoot might eat. Okay, like a Bigfoot could eat that kind of stuff. They know. I'm sure they know plants better than we do. Obviously, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
don't know them
Yep.
that way.
Lion's mane. Herbal
Yeah,
freeze dried lion's mane. Yeah.
you can eat lion's mane, right? Super medicinal.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. They also got lion's powder. Lion's
Okay.
mane powder.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we know now. Okay, next time I need to start studying my mushrooms before we go out in the woods again. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we also had, we had T was there with his drone, and so we did get some drone footage while we were there. He got some drone footage. I can't wait to see it. I'm not sure what all he picked up. I'm sure he's going to be examining that footage. I mean, maybe he picked up a Bigfoot in there or something. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I'm really curious to see what Juan did. Also, Juan
Mhm.
left he left audio and he left the camera up when we went out hiking at base camp.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Juan is awesome, by the way. He's really cool. He was new to the team from my perspective.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was. Yeah, he's in his
yeah.
team. I've been he's been a prospect for a while. I've been vetting him, talking to him for a while, so long time.
Oh yeah.
For about good 4 years.
Well, you've got a few people that have been asking you, and I've had people ask me too to, if they could like join the team and all that kind of stuff, like go out with us on like hunts. And if you're my other teams, I'm a member of like several other teams. I've been doing this for a while, and we're we kind of got our core team down, and we don't really bring a lot of people in. Well, one team does, but we kind of have become very cohesive as a team. And what do you think? I mean, is that cool to talk about tonight a little bit, or
Yeah,
how do you
fine.
feel about that? Or here's the question: are you interested in ever doing an expedition where you invite people that are not on our team in?
Yes, maybe like once a year.
Okay,
Like
cool.
once a year. Like one big bash just to knock it all out at once.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to come.
Okay. That's right. I was trying to like word the question correctly. Okay. Without sounding kind of crazy there. Because yeah, when I just wanted to kind of make this statement, because people are ask me pretty often, can I come out with your team sometime? And my teams are pretty set, but occasionally we do, a group kind of an expedition or something. And we invite people to come out with us. But we're doing real research out in this field, and it's really dangerous and stuff. So once you get a team, it becomes very cohesive. You become cohesive as a team, and it's not something that you just can kind of invite people to a lot. And so that's
Yeah.
part of the reason I wasn't public with my
Yeah.
research.
Not only that too, you can't just like invite yourself either.
Right. And you
Just saying.
can't just like invite friends and stuff when you've got a team there. I couldn't just be like, hey, I'm just bringing so and so along, and you've got like a game plan down, and
Yeah.
your team wasn't expecting that. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring that up because I get asked that a lot too, about bringing extra people in. But a yearly expedition with everybody or some new people would be really cool, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, what kind of weapons checks do you guys do? Are y'all still doing weapons checks? Because I don't live up there with you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all do that before the outing?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we usually do like a range day and during that or yeah. So mainly we do like a range day like the week prior just to make sure that we're dialed in and put all our gear on and making sure that everything's good to go. And then we do like a gear check too. Just making sure that we're bringing like the right stuff. So things we need to add, things we need to subtract. So that we're good to go. But if we do it too early before we do the hunt, we could forget to add something, or we could possibly want to change something on our vest around or whatnot. So that's kind of like our sweet spot, basically a week prior.
Yeah. Yeah. So my ASOG team, Anomalous Studies and Observation Group. Well, no, actually, it's not SOJ. It's formerly the North Georgia Cryptid Researchers. Actually, we've kind of changed the name of the team because Bob was the head of that, and he's passed away now. And so the new team is called Seekers, and the word Seekers actually has his radio call sign in it, so that's why we're called Seekers, SEK. And so he was really big on ham radio and stuff, and so we've got our new group Seekers, and we've actually organized it where different people are taking over different like positions of kind of to be that kind of the head of stuff. And we've got Sean, one of our teammates, is actually the head of our weapons and stuff, firearms training. And it's gotten to be just kind of like what this team, Cryptid Warfare, is doing, is where if you want to, as a team, we need to go out there and start training in firearms together.
Yeah.
And passing some firearms checks and stuff, because you don't want just anybody out there carrying a weapon. Not that anybody on our team is not familiar with weapons and stuff, but it's good to have that if you're going to be out there carrying weapons, doing encrypted research. And you guys are super thorough with that as far as the training goes. So
yeah, we are, because we don't want to have any, I wouldn't say accidental discharge. Just basically, we don't want any accidents to happen. So, or like negative discharge is what I should say. But yeah,
negative discharge
that can be preventable from training. So
yeah, well, and you need to know to work as a team and to not, and if you're going to be out there, and our goal is not to hurt anything, not to shoot a weapon ever.
Yeah,
You don't want to shoot a weapon unless you have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just for our protection. So
yes. Yeah, it is called Cryptid Warfare, everybody. Okay. So prepare for anything. Yeah. I mean, what do you say to people who, because I don't know if you've ever had anybody like confront you or ask you about the weapons and stuff. What do you say like when people are like, well, Bigfoots are, just they're all sweet and kind and they would never hurt you. And why would you ever carry a weapon out there in the field? You're never going to have an experience if you have a gun out there. What do you say to that?
Well, apparently you've never been in a hairy situation before. I go, it's almost like gambling. You never know what kind of Bigfoot you're going to run into. You never know what kind of cryptid you're going to run into. Not all of them are happy-go-lucky like Happy Timmy. They're just like us. They have bad days as well. You got ones that mean harm to people. You got ones that hate people. To me, they're basically opportunistic creatures, Yeah, that's where you get your missing 411, stuff like that. So, yeah, I go, but, hey, do what you want to do. That's fine. But as for me, I'm going to do what I need to do. So, and you don't need to be on my team if you don't like that. That's what it is.
Oh man, I wanted to give a huge birthday shout out to Greg Ogles. What's up, Greg? I was just flipping through Facebook before the show, posting some stuff. I saw it was your birthday. I hadn't had a chance to write to you yet to say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Greg. Everybody tell Greg happy birthday. Uh-oh. There went right on the happy birthday. We lost Drewski there. But happy birthday to Greg. You're awesome. And also, I see Miss Betty Todd here in the chat tonight. What's up, Betty? Betty was at the Molina Bigfoot Festival. She lives in Alabama. She's had a bunch of Bigfoot experiences, ET experiences herself. We talk on CB radio. We do too. You know what? We need to, if you get a chance, y'all, go get into CB radios. Okay, go buy you a Baofeng. Just have it in case of an emergency. It's so important. Get you a solar powered battery charger for it and all that kind of stuff, because you never know what's going to happen when it comes down to, we're talking about survival skills. Okay, and things that we need for survival. CB radios are one of those things, and we use CB radios, right, Drewski?
Mm-hmm. We do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. It's important to have comms out there in the field. Super important. We even had our comms going when we were driving up that crazy terrain in our vehicles, not knowing if we were going to make it up those hills or not.
Yeah, and only that too. Cell phones can only work so far. So there was definitely a lot of dead spots in that mountain range. So walkie-talkies are wonderful.
Yes. Kent knows what's up. Kent says Bigfoots are like any other sentient being. They have good ones and some bad ones. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And, for the most part, I have never been accosted by a Bigfoot and like made to feel scared or anything like that around Bigfoot. I did have that time where something screamed in our base camp. I don't think that was a Bigfoot though. I really don't think that was a Bigfoot. And it wasn't there to, it wasn't like it was, crashing through our tents or anything, whatever it was. For the most part, I've been left alone so far by any kind of mean or harmful kind of a cryptid so far. So I don't know if I'm lucky or if I admit some kind of frequency. It's like, please don't be mean to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is. Have you ever experienced anything like that? Like something that was like felt harmful?
Yeah, I have. Like when me, Taylor, and Paul went up to Mountain City, Tennessee. Yeah, when we had those bluff charges and they're just running around and just breaking sticks and shaking stuff. So I think they were due more of like an intimidation factor. But as far as physically seeing something run at me, trying to charge me, trying to hit me, trying to tackle me, no. But just on the outskirts of the tree lines and stuff. Yeah, but as far as that, me physically seeing a 9 foot tall, blood eating, no.
No. John, and probably Coco too. What's up, John and Coco? Have you ever had any weird energy interfere with CBs as they do with other electronics?
Not yet. I have not.
Yeah, I believe my team has. I believe I think it was Bob was working the radios either here, Glenn, and I believe some voices came over or something that weren't, and a lot of times like you'll get interference and like you'll pick up on, other stations potentially or frequencies, but we have specific frequencies that we stay on with our team. And so, yeah, I mean, it can happen just like with any kind of electronic. I think that it has the potential to be, I don't want to say like messed with or taken over or, the white noise comes through the static. Yeah, there a lot, anything with electronics and batteries, I think has a potential to have some kind of an interference. But yeah, it says stay away from the ley lines. You know what? I think just about everywhere we go sits on an important ley line. I'm pretty sure. I haven't checked Farrah's house yet. I don't know if her house is on a ley line. It probably is.
No,
But yeah,
yeah.
it definitely.
But going back to what you were, real quick, going back to what you were talking about weapons and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
People, to me, it's like that saying goes, I'd rather need it, I'd rather have it and not need it, and need it and not have it, or I'd rather be a warrior in the garden instead of a gardener in a war. You never know.
Exactly. Eating mice or dominants. Yes. Yeah, we've got some great comments tonight. I'm kind of flipping through. I'm going like they're moving really fast. So I'm trying to see if there's any questions here tonight or anything. But yeah, it's better to have something to protect yourself with and not need it, y'all. Okay, it really is. Even if I know we got machete here in the chat. Machete, take a machete or something nice. Or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be here to talk about just nothing but weapons and stuff, but we do have to protect ourselves. Okay, we do. And you are the head of Crypted Warfare. Okay. And I love that because I think that you're out there doing the boots on the ground, man. I mean, there's not a lot of teams out there doing this kind of boots on the ground research that I know of. I mean, my team does boots on the ground field research. You guys are out there and I'm with you doing, I mean, this is like scary stuff. It's not just research, it's investigations. Okay, like investigations, like at Farrah's house with that skinwalker cave. The Dogman incident. Oh, and I wanted to bring that up tonight. Okay, so where we went in Alabama, the Alabama. Like, what are you saying? Okay, I'm not going to give the location away. It wasn't Alabama though. Okay, where we went to the Dogman investigation, where Brian, his dad, and his nephew had that encounter out there. We went in, we hiked in, we did that whole investigation there. Well, I was telling my friend Angie Williamson. Okay, she's part of my team with Seekers. Okay, and she helped throw the Molina Bigfoot Festival last weekend. Well, I had told her that story. She knew the story about what happened to Brian, his dad, and she said, I have a friend who had that exact same thing happen in the North Mountains of the mountains of North Alabama. And she said, his name's Scott. I remember her saying his name was Scott, but I didn't know Scott at the time. And she said, I'll get him to tell you sometime about it. And so guess what? I got to meet him at the Molina Bigfoot Festival last weekend. Scott said that in the 1990s, he and a few of his friends were actually, it was almost the exact location, the same forest and everything, had almost the identical exact encounter that Brian, his dad, had with being surrounded, something that felt kind of aggressive, all night. And it was almost the exact same story, the exact same encounter, but years apart. And I actually did invite Scott to come out with us this weekend. I don't have his phone number, so I wasn't able to get in touch with him again. But I did invite him to come out. He's with BFRO up in North Georgia.
Yeah.
So, but he thought it was Bigfoots, he said. And I don't know, we did find that print. It could have been Bigfoots that were out there when we were there that night.
Mm.
Yeah. What you think about
that? Well, yeah, was the trip is that Brian, his nephew, and his dad went back there 2 weeks ago, and they had another encounter. I'm like, why didn't it happen with us when we were there? Like you said, like he said, it was basically almost like the same thing. So, but he thinks that's what he said. He thinks that they're Bigfoot instead of Dogman.
Oh, so he thinks they're Bigfoot too. That's the feeling that I got when we were up there. I felt like it was more of a aggressive Bigfoot, and that's what some of the reports are actually in that area, is like families of Bigfoots, like groups of them, and aggressive Bigfoots out there. But there's also Dogman, encounters out there as well. So I can't believe they went back. They just went back to go be gluttons for punishment. That's what that was.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it just those two? They take their nephew with them?
Yeah.
It was two?
Yeah. Matter of fact, because he got back from AIT, and then he was basically on break for 2 weeks. So during that 2 weeks, they took him out. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Well, maybe that shows us that whatever's out there, the Bigfoots, the Dogmen, they're more likely to show themselves or let themselves be known when there's a smaller group. Okay, just a couple of people, 2 or 3 people. There were only like 5 of us when we went.
Yeah.
There were only 5. But there was something out there though. Okay, when we were out there. So something did let itself be known when we were there, but it wasn't like aggressive or anything. And Zook had a good question today. We were talking, he said, what if the reason that sometimes we don't have a lot of activity is because we, pray. Okay. And this is a very valid question. What if we protect ourselves? We put our, and I do this too. You surround yourself in light. You pray up for protection, for God's protection, and nothing wants to come out and show itself after you do that. I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh, it was funny because he told you that, because him and I talked about that last night. So that was kind of my theory. Maybe we should not pray as hard. Still pray, but maybe we should. Okay, God, help us see something. But I don't know. I'm not going to say not pray, but
bring them out, but don't let them hurt us. Okay, I know we got to be very specific in our prayers, I guess. Yeah. But it's a valid point, because I have definitely gone places that were very dark. Okay, very dark. And I have surrounded myself and my teammates with all the light, all the love and light, and nothing happened. But we went there for the experience. But I did that. I actively covered us in protection and light. And so then I was like, oh man, maybe it's my fault that nothing happened. We didn't get those experiences because of that. But everything happens for a reason, I think. It does. And it's better having protection around you and being prayed up and having nothing attached to you than you taking some kind of, demonic entity home with you or something, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of a little conundrum there, I guess.
Yeah.
When you're doing this kind of research. But I thought that was a really valid question, and that he asked. So we do have to talk about these things. We do have to discuss them, especially with our teams. Because this is real life, problems, real life situations, real life encounters that we're having out there. And it is a spiritual war. This is a spirit. What we do, it has a spiritual nature to it, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It always does.
Yeah,
If even if you don't think it does, it does.
it does. Everything. Well, I mean, I feel like we've been in like some kind of spiritual warfare for quite a while, and the cryptids do kind of tie into all this too. And you actually did quote an interesting verse this morning. I heard you. You're talking about the because we're talking about our dreams. You don't have to get into it. Let's not talk about our dreams. We don't have to talk about that. But you don't have to. But you had mentioned something about I don't know if it was in Psalm. I don't know what verse it was. I'm so sorry. I forgot what chapter. But it was about the beast will turn on man or something. Well, can you tell me what that was?
Talks about that in Revelation how
Okay,
a third of
Revelation.
mankind
That's right.
will be basically a third of mankind. What's up, Larry?
That's Larry. Hey, Larry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Larry. A third of mankind will be eaten by the beasts of the field.
Oh,
So
that really stuck with me today, by the way. Okay. So men will be eaten by the beasts of the field.
yeah.
What I feel like we've been living in Revelation. The past 30 years.
Yes, we are definitely in the birth pains, as Christ says for sure.
We are. Okay, so how does that fit in? Eaten by the beasts of the field. That should we be worried? Okay, about what's going or is something planning on coming to eat us? I mean, we talk about these hybridization programs. We talk about military using dogmen, potentially agencies utilizing cryptids for their dirty work, assassinations, kidnappings. We got all these missing people out there, cloning programs and stuff. And I know this gets kind of deep. Okay, it can get kind of deep. But should we be worried about, and I don't live in fear, none of us should be living in fear, but should we kind of pay attention, let's just say, to the potential of beasts coming at us at some point, like being unleashed on us? Like Dogman, for instance. What do you think? I'm just saying,
Yes. Okay.
the
Okay.
general public.
Okay. Here we go. We're
Okay,
definitely gonna get in some trips today. So
okay,
So for one, in Revelation it talks about God's judgments. Okay. So you have your trumpets, so you have your seals, your trumpets, and your bowls. So in those, when it comes to the Book of Revelation on the trumpets and stuff like that, so all these are different judgments for people. So basically what it is, it's God trying to wake up his people to come back to him. So it's basically God just trying to rattle the cage as much as he can to get his people to wake up and to acknowledge him and to come back to him. So he's going to use a means of ways to do that. But also too, if you have the seal of Christ on you, you don't have to be afraid. But for the people who don't and who accept the mark and stuff like that, those judgments are going to be on those people. So, yes. So when it comes to the beasts of the field, I think it encompasses everything: bears, lions, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, stuff like that. So people who go hiding in the mountains during that time in the Book of Revelation, when all these catastrophes are going on, the people who don't have the seal of Christ on them, there is a big potential that these people could be eaten by the beasts of the field. When it comes to bears, lions, mountain lions, that's not just here in America. That's also in Africa. That's also in India, stuff like that. That's all over the earth.
mm-hmm.
So that's not just focusing on one area. That's basically worldwide, in the Amazon, stuff like that. So, but people already get that. Basically, already happens to people. But during that certain judgment, it's going to vamp up like crazy, So, anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, let's don't live in fear. Everybody, stay prayed up. Okay, stay prayed up. And yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. And I was thinking about that. I had a long ride home today. Okay, so I had a lot to think about. I was stuck in traffic for like an extra hour today, and the whole time I was just kind of, I kind of think deeply about things sometimes. Like little just little things like that. And I was wondering like how that relates to what we're going through, because I feel personally like I've been living through, our world's been living through revelations with all the flooding and the, the everything. Okay. Everything's been on since at least for the past 5 years. I feel like, oh my God, this is like revelations. This is like end times, but I don't look at it in like a terrible way. Okay. Because I just feel like it's a shift in the earth. Okay. A shift in the vibration. Things are changing. Okay. The things are changing. We're all well aware. Everybody that watches my channel, we're well aware that cryptids exist. Okay. They exist. I've experienced them. You've experienced them. We're out there chasing them. Okay, both of us just got home from chasing them last night. Okay, and today. So we know they're out there. A lot of people who watch my shows have had their own personal encounters with it, and I always question like where did they fit in with the whole revelations? Okay, like with the end of the world, or maybe the beginning of a new world. Maybe when things are shifting for the positive. And I'm hoping for some disclosure. Let's just say some disclosure, some official disclosure. I don't think we'll ever get it. Do you think we'll ever get any disclosure on cryptids with like our government?
Honestly, with that, no. No, honestly, no. The only way I think we'll get, disclosure is when Jesus comes back, and basically when we learn everything, from eternal knowledge that He gives us. But that's, to me, that's the only thing I do not. Even though, let's say, even though the government might say, hey, there is Sasquatch, there's to me, there's a bunch more cryptids that are out there. Like, I don't trust the government whatsoever. So, it's like that mushroom effect. They just feed us crap and they keep us growing. They keep us in the dark. So,
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. So Alice in Wonderland says, speaks like a dragon, sounds like reptilian. Okay, so I pulled this up because we have not gone on a reptilian hunt yet.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you think? I know we got some ideas for the next one. We won't announce them on air, but I think we should put this on the list. Okay, maybe
100%.
even like skateboard swamp or something like
I'm
South
down
Carolina.
100%.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I've heard stories of reptilians living underground, and them fighting dogmen in the tunnels underground. I mean, I know we're never. Well, I'm not going to say we'll never have access to underground tunnels. I think you've already been in some, probably. I don't know. I'm not saying tunnels, but you did come on and we talked about under Denver airport, right? At some point. So you've been working in security and military for a long time. And you've had some interesting things. I was going to say, what do you know about these underground bases? Do you think there could have been one where we were this weekend?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. There's more than what we know. They have so many tunnels, so many railways, so many, that they just transport things in and out of, underneath the ground, off the public knowing. And yeah, the whole hollow earth theory too, as well. And there's so much we have no freaking clue, dude. No freaking clue.
I have no idea. I know. I think that we are the disclosure. I think somebody said it. Here we are. Fire, water by designs. Like, we are the disclosure. I say that all the time. We are the disclosure. And if you want to get the 411, let's just say, that's probably a bad reference. Okay. Get the 411, not the missing 411, but if you want to get the 411 on, what's really going on out there, as far as, the creatures of the night, things that we're chasing around, watch shows like mine and Drewski's, Cryptid Warfare podcast. Listen to his podcast. Drew, you really do interview some amazing people. You have a wonderful podcast that's super interesting, and you ask some great questions. But it's an important part of this disclosure that's going on right now. There was actually a congressional hearing last week on UFOs. Did you catch it?
Well, no, but I talked to my buddy Joe about it. Because he was there. So, no, but I definitely want to go back and check it out for sure. Did you? What about you? Did you hear anything?
Yeah, well, I talked about it on Saturday night on my show. Brian Sane came on with Full Disclosure Now, and we talked about it. it wasn't anything really new. Okay, it wasn't anything super new. I actually had that report, and I was going to give it to you. It was printed out in the back seat of my car, and I forgot to give it to you. I can send it to you as a file. I'll send it
Yeah.
to you tonight. It was a report. And they go down the list of like all the different types of UFOs, the non-biologics, I think is what they're calling them too, like the aliens. Okay, I think we're gonna call them. I call them aliens. The biologics or non-human biologics or something. I can't remember. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it was just kind of like to the normies, I guess. It'd be like, whoa, this is huge. But to us, it's like, okay, well,
About
all right,
time.
thanks. Yeah, now what? Give us some more information. Okay. And I do think that maybe hopefully within the next 4 years they're going to give us a lot more disclosure on things like that. I think it's a start. I think it's a
Yeah,
start for sure.
it's a start for sure.
Yeah. I know. Well, by now I think most of the UFOs we see are man-made.
UAPs. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, last night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah.
UAPs are probably going to be man-made or like reverse engineered or something. But like I said, I'm no expert, but I have been chased down by a UFO before. Okay, so kind of. I was just sitting there. I wasn't running. I don't run. Okay, but these colors don't run. I know, I'm kidding. But anyways, good times, man. Good times. We're living in some fantastic times, and yeah, like I said, we are the disclosure. You and I are out there doing that boots on the ground field research. Don't know a whole lot of people that do it like we do it at the
Yeah.
moment. And so I'm looking forward to more adventures with you and the team. Shout out to all the guys that were with us this weekend. If it's okay to show these pictures, I'll show. I think I
Yeah.
showed all the pictures for the most part, but here's a funny one of most of us there. And there's a team. That's us from this weekend right here. Good group of guys. There's T. You guys remember T from if you guys watch Tony Merkel's show, The Confessionals. That's T, the Nephilim over there on the far left. And
And you got all Darius Rucker over there with that rifle.
oh, and we had Darius Rucker with us as well. Yes, he did join us on our. We're kidding. That's not actually Darius Rucker, y'all. We were just giving him crap. Or you were. Okay, you were.
It wasn't. It was the people in the
Just like
store.
Darius Rucker. And I think some women in Ingalls thought that he was Darius Rucker, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And then everyone thought Braxton was Luke Combs.
that's right. So we had Luke Combs and Darius Rucker with us on our trip. They're a couple of good looking dudes that, they do look very much similar to those famous people. And so it is what it is. We have a good time out there. If y'all can't tell, we have a really good time. And I know you and I are both tired. We're tired. We probably need to go get some sleep. I am at least. I am. You're a night owl, Drew. So, but yeah. Well, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about Cryptid Warfare podcast, and what you got coming in the future, what you got going on right now?
Yes. So, I am the host of a Cryptid Warfare and Conspiracies podcast. You guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, all that. And just basically just interview people. It's not just cryptids; it's also conspiracies. We talk about spiritual warfare. We talk about end times, eschatology. So, anyone who has a story, anybody who's knowledgeable in certain things, anyone who's got a testimony, the floor is yours. So, I'm not prejudiced. I don't hate. Everyone's got a story. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot you added the conspiracies part. I'm sorry. I forgot to add that
on the
banner. So, but if you look up Cryptid Warfare, you'll find it. If you just type in Cryptid Warfare, it comes up. Cryptid Warfare. I hope I spelled that right. Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay. So and the group, the team, what we're doing out there, it's Cryptid Warfare Operations and Survival. What you got planned for the future of Cryptid Warfare Operations?
Oh, actually a lot. I'm really wanting to already, but it encompasses all that, the podcast and all that stuff, but also too, it also encompasses like you said, people who want to go out and experience this stuff. So more like not like a liaison, but I forgot what he called it. Oh God, I'm totally brain farting here. But anyways, so what this is we just teach people how to camp, how to survive, also to how to cryptid research, and also as well when it comes to my team personally, we want to help people out who are legitimately having problems with cryptids at their home, on their land, animals, stuff like that. If they're getting harassed by it, just on whatever, we want to spiritually be there for these people, and we want to physically be there for these people to to help them out. So that's number one. So just help people, help people, help people.
Yeah, that's badass. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Super awesome. And listen, you will definitely not regret. Okay, if you got something going on at your house it doesn't feel good, you got cryptids out there, you will not regret hitting up Cryptid Warfare to bring the team out there. And even if it's just a scouting trip, and there's a couple of them or whatever of us. I'm on the team too. Okay.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, that's another thing too. That's what it is. Consulting. That's what it is. People need information, stuff like that. I can be a consultant out there to kind of let them know what they do, what they can't do, stuff like that. A liaison, I guess. So.
Yeah, super important. Yeah, you got somebody to turn to, y'all. Okay, hit Drewski up. You can even hit me up through my website too. If you got something that needs to be looked at, you need some kind of consulting or whatever, you got it right here. And so that's wonderful. Yeah, y'all please go subscribe over at Cryptid Warfare and Conspiracies Podcast on YouTube. Wonderful show. Listen to him on Apple, iTunes, all the podcasting platforms over there. And he's on TikTok too. You're on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to thank real quick before we go, I want to thank Kent Baxter. Let's see, Kent, thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate that. Keep on hunting. Thank you. We will. I appreciate you so much. That's so sweet for your support. And also our good friend Larry Sharp was in the chat tonight, who gave 10 memberships to my channel. Oh my gosh, that is huge. Wow. 10. Thank you, Larry. That is so sweet. I know that I do have a special channel membership where you can join. It's called the Hunt Club. You have to go to your PC or your laptop to go hit the join button. It doesn't come up on your phone for some reason. But I do put exclusive content out there. I do at least one video every week. It's just for my members. And so thank you so much, Larry. I know that'll make the day of a lot of people in here, at least 10 of them today. So we have a wonderful group over there. You guys go join it too. If you didn't happen to be one of the lucky people who got a membership today, go join that. And thank you guys so much for all your support. Larry, I appreciate you. Larry actually called in. You and Larry both called in to Coast AM when I was live with George Norrie.
I remember that.
Both of y'all, I got you right here. Us three are on the screen together right now. Y'all are my two friends that called in. There may have been other people too. I remember you guys. There were a couple calls that came in. One was Larry and one was you. So thank y'all so much. That I will always remember that. I will always remember that forever because that was a fun time. So thank y'all. And I want to thank everybody else for being here tonight. Everybody, you guys are awesome. What's up? I even got Eric Testerman in here tonight. I'm a member by heart. Oh my gosh, you're so silly. We've got so many great people in here tonight. This has been a great show, and I thank you guys so much. I know I threw this show together about an hour before we went live because we were out in the field this weekend. So under the full moon too. Wasn't that full moon amazing last night?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of it was, man, definitely a hunter's moon for sure.
And you did not turn into a werewolf. So I know you're not a werewolf now. I'm just kidding. I know, I'm kidding. That was awesome. It was kind of almost like daytime out there last night. It was so bright. It was really bright. And that might have contributed to why we didn't have as much activity as we would normally have had out there. So, but yeah, good times, man. I can't wait for another hunt. I think we got Dogmen coming up, or hopefully we'll have some reptilian hunts going down, and we'll see.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good.
It'll be awesome. All right. Well, everybody, y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Thank you for being here. And I will be back on Monday. I think Barry's going to come on with me on Monday. We were talking about maybe discussing some of these tarantula ETs. that he was posting about today, that's a whole new rabbit hole for me. Okay, so well, hey.
That's my daughter. She just got back from work.
Oh, it's good to see you. Welcome to the Cryptid Hunters channel live. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see you guys all back here on Monday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night tonight. Please be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. Drewski, thanks for having me on your team, man. It's been
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Grove. We're honored to have you on our team. So
well, thank you. All right, y'all. Have a great night. I'll see y'all on Monday, and I'm sending all my love and light. All right. See you, Drew. Y'all have a great night.